Well, fill it with gas, fill it with oil, check the water, we're ready to roll. It's got no buzzers, no flashing lights, just let you know when the field's alright. One side looks like an old tin can and the hotel down with rubber bands. We tell it our problems and it understands as we roll along the highway, as we roll along the highway. They can't sell their Oldsmobiles, they can't sell their Fords. We all drive an old yellow Datsun with one green door. We all drive an old yellow Datsun with one green door.
Not really the way I want to go caching, but you know, it's 32 degrees out, and there's a bit of a trail here. Amber's going in. We're at the Cinnabine Forest, and you know, trying to do a little caching. It's 32 Celsius, the humidex is I think 38 or 40, and the trail where we're on isn't bad. You see here it's you know, it's wood chips, but you know, the big problem is I'm using my scooter, my power scooter. About 25-30 yards in. And I'm about losing sight of her now. I can't see anywhere else where I could see her from. Just back up out of the way off the trail here. And I bet you I zoomed in when I was talking to you there, so that footage is likely toast. Anyway, we're sitting out here, Cinnabine Forest, caching. This warm weather, hard on the lungs when you have asthma, and the heat being 32, humidex pushing 40. That's not helping the asthma, the breathing, and the heat isn't not helping the MS at all either. Even with my cart, I can feel it just draining the energy out of me like it does. Luckily it's a bit overcast and there's a nice breeze going through here. Yeah, from where I'm sitting, the cache was I think 65 meters, so that's, you know, a couple hundred feet. We're actually caching with our this one. We're caching with our iPhone 4. We're really quite surprised how accurate that thing is when we're caching. You know, it has its faults, has its problems. When you're caching, like when you're in an area where we are, there's caches all over the place in this little forested area, and we can't just look and walk down the trail unless we haven't learned how to use it right. But we can't just walk down the trail and say, okay, we're close to one now, let's go get it. It just seems we have to keep updating to search for the closest. So it's a little bit more awkward than using the GPS. The Garmin GPS units that we use. But this is a nice area. Amber should have taken a camera with her. Gonna sign off for now. GPS Grampa, waiting for GPS Gramma, who's off in the bushes looking for a cache somewhere out there. And we'll talk to you soon. Okay. Still waiting for GPS Gramma. You know, it's a tough go in these woods here. One of the things that Grandma mentioned to me is that I have a tendency to look everywhere except at the camera lens, and I'm sorry about that. It's not, just doesn't feel right to be staring at a camera like this when there's so much stuff going on, and I guess it's maybe a bit of an ADD thing where I can't totally pay attention to just looking at the camera. And I have a tendency, and I think I do this when I talk to people as well, that even though I'm talking to them face to face, my eyes will wander and just keep checking the surroundings. Much like when I'm driving, you know, every 6 or 7 seconds I'm checking a mirror, and you know, maybe it's like that. I can't be sure, but I'm pretty sure I do it just because I don't know, it just feels awkward. Just playing. I'm surprised it doesn't take the camera that long to focus, and that thing is quite a ways away. You know, as you can tell by when I zoom out here. You know, it's a good couple miles away, and I can zoom right in on it. Kind of surprising. Anyway, any of these videos that I do post, you know, don't feel offended that I'm not looking, you know, talking, like Pete would say, you. I'm not talking to you. I'm just talking in general, and you just happen to be watching it. So that's one of the YouTube channels that I like to watch is SWRNC, Southwest Rod and Custom. Pete, you know, my friend Pete, as he calls himself, love the work he does, and it's hilarious watching him. And hey Swampy, how you doing? And hi Minnie, the body shop girl, as she's called in his other videos, DIY Automotive. or DIY auto school. I learned a lot from that. I've done a lot of body work over the years because I've just never thought of paying somebody to do it. Like when I have an accident, if the insurance company is going to cover it, then of course I let them do it. But anytime my vehicles have had little bits of rust or little parking lot dings and dents, I'll change a panel or fabricate a panel, and we MIG weld them in now. But when I started, we used to pop rivet them in, and I always used steel pop rivets, and I knew some friends of mine that said the aluminum ones pop easier, so they used those instead of the steel ones like I used. And yeah, they did pop easier, but they also vibrated loose, and then if your Bondo was close to it was very thin close to the rivet, then after driving a little bit, the aluminum seemed to I don't know, it would vibrate or something and work loose, and you'd get these little round circles sticking out through your paint job. Also went through the brief period when you would, a couple times you'd screw panels on if you, didn't get good access, or if you ran out of pop rivets, you'd use some small self-tapping screws, where you didn't have to worry about blending too much, like almost more like floor pans and things. The insurance companies don't let you do that now when you fix your car, so I do the MIG welding now, and I did a brief stint where we were using brass and brazing panels on, which was that was fun because you could warp panels pretty easy with using the torch. But it was all good, and then I've used all sorts of different Bondo and the whatever they call it, the cat hair or whatever, the fiberglass. Well, look at this. There's Grandma way over there. She didn't even come out. She didn't even come out where she went in. So let's go and see how she did. Lose your way? And you found a better path out?
Oh.
Hey?
No, I think I was lost.
Oh. So you walked till you found a path?
Uh-huh.
And you found it, and then you figured out where you were?
Uh-huh. Can I sit for a minute?
Yeah. Tough going.
Uh-huh.
Heavy air. And pushing bush. So how big was it? Oh, good size. Lots of stuff in it.
Yeah, but it was all rusty.
The metal?
No, it was plastic.
All rusty inside.
Yeah.
So it had moisture in it.
Yeah. I'm done for the day.
Are you?
Not going back in any bush where I'm going to get lost again.
Okay. Likely be easier to do with the GPS units where we can track back. Too many DC-9s flying anymore. Standing up, it's harder to stop from shaking.
Could I leave the geo thing in this one? There's not very much stuff in it.
You could. So I gave it away, just the rope.
Once I just figured.
You see a rope hanging, you wonder what the hell?
Well, I giggled.
I heard that.
Because the description says cameled coffee mug. Where would you put a cameled coffee mug?
Is that where?
Huh?
Is there a nail on the tree or something?
Yeah. Cool.
So you see the rope, but
You don't notice it when you're first here because you're looking.
you're looking around the ground and stuff.
Yeah. Cool. You want this?
Tune in tomorrow. Same bat time, same bat channel.